Greetings, students. I had gotten a couple emails about your assignment that's due this week, the Social Change Portfolio Part 3, Theories of Prevention. So the AI component is a new addition, a part of this assignment this term. So I just wanted to go through the directions, and then I wanted to give you an example of what it might actually look like of what you're going to do. Okay? So there's three couple different components. The first being look at the feedback that I've provided from part 1 and 2 and make those updates into your portfolio. Then you're going to create a section for part 3. Okay. You're going to look at the learning resources that you've had, consider the theories of prevention, specifically related to whatever your community project is. You're going to select one or two from the learning resources that you find that might be a good fit. The only theory you can't use is the socio-ecological theory, but all other theories that relate to your topic are game. Next, you're going to identify one of the many generative AI platforms that we have. Some examples are ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude are approved platforms. Next, you're going to put into ChatGPT one of these three theories or prompts, excuse me, these are the prompts, right? So explain how a prevention theory or theories from this week's learning resources, and you want to identify what those resources are, what the articles might be about, could be applied to whatever your identified challenge and intervention is, or summarize the research that supports whatever your theory is, okay? So this is the first prompt that you're going to put in, one of these. You can put in all, and that might be helpful to strengthen the paper too as well. After you put in that first prompt, you're then going to put in a second prompt, okay? And in this second prompt, you have these to choose from. So here is an example prompt, actually. Sorry about that. Let me go back. So here is the example prompt that you can use and fill in. This is what the prompt should be answering. My apologies for that. So again, down here, we've got the example prompt of what you can copy and paste into ChatGPT with your information for your specific program. And you're looking for ChatGPT to help you identify an evidence-based program for your target with your chosen intervention. And you're looking for the ChatGPT to also give you research evidence that supports selecting this evidence-based program based off of what your topic is. Okay. So then essentially by Sunday, you're submitting in updated introduction and parts 1 and 2. And you're also engaging in part 3, these new parts with track changes or with AI. And I'm going to show you very quickly like what track changes could look like that you'll also submit, right? So you've got these steps. Ultimately, you're going to be turning in a track changes item in Word or document in Word that has all the different prompts and also how you, I'm going to call it kind of rip apart AI2, right? So that's the main purpose of the assignment is for you to learn how to identify appropriate AI tools and platforms, then how to come up with AI prompts to get you to what you are trying to um, pull from ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT or Claude is only going to give you the information as strong as what you know about your particular population or intervention or what the research is saying, right? So all of the work that you have done from parts 1 and 2 will help you with part 3 to make sure that ChatGPT has given you the correct information. Okay. So once we've put in our 2 prompts, we're going to copy and paste it into a Word document. And so for my example, I'm using the social cognitive theory for addressing substance use. Okay. So first I would just take a look. This is anything that's in green is my updates, but whatever's in black or that's been scratched out, those are what came from ChatGPT. So essentially it's saying SCT has been found to be helpful for addressing substance use. SCT suggests that behavior is learned through observing. And in a mentoring intervention, so the mentor is a positive role model, and by watching their mentor, the student will learn how to not use drugs to be successful. Self-efficacy is also a big part of SCT, and it talks about how important it is for the student. Here, it says to feel good about themselves, to say no. Then it gives us a research study that talks about how mentoring reduces the use of 50%. So now that second prompt, right, talks about what evidence-based program would be good with the intervention you want to use. So it identifies Stay Clean as a mentoring initiative, that the program has been used in schools, has weekly therapy sessions with a mentor and a student, is a comprehensive, or wait, no, sorry. That's the update. It is a beautiful tapestry of support that helps with student problems. Evidence shows that this program works well for all children, regardless of background. Yeah, so that's what ChatGPT actually gave me, all the things that are in black. So now, once you've read through your ChatGPT response, now we're going to rip it apart, right? So again, all of the research and the literature and the articles that you've read, they're going to help you be able to identify what's not real or what's fake. Sometimes ChatGPT or the other AI platforms can give what we call hallucination citations, right? So you're going to need to check the citation that it gives you that it's actually correct, that whatever they say the article about is actually what the article about, right? So again, this process is teaching you how to critique ChatGPT or any AI platform to make sure you're not just copying and pasting something that is totally off the mark, that people can tell that it's AI as well because of kind of the use of like hallucination or not using the language. Okay. So the last step, a part of this AI paper, is ripping it apart. Okay. So what you see on the side here are all of the updates that I made, and I'm going to walk through them for you. So, for example, here, and actually, let me do this. So, what ChatGPT gave us is a real generic sentence. When you are writing a paper or anything like that, you want to show that you know the language of SCT, right? Of that particular theory. So in SCT, when it talks about this process of um, watching the mentor, the student watching the mentor, these are the actual words, right? This is the language of SCT, observational learning and vicarious enforcement. Okay. So not just watching the mentor, we want to hear the language. And, if you're doing a presentation, they want to hear the language that you know for SET. All right. So our next rip it apart is, so we did that. Got it. So this one here. So it says self-efficacy is also important here because the student needs to feel good about themselves to say no. What is self-efficacy? Is it like the student feeling good about themselves? That isn't the language of SCT, right? So I'll do this while we're here. And again, kind of in my note, this shows that you know the terminology along with SCT, like I talked about earlier. So we're going to scratch that out and we're going to add in the actual language that's used. So developing refusal self-efficacy through role-playing and mastering experiences. We did that. Okay. So here's an example of a hallucination article. So if you find any hallucination articles, like let me go ahead and put this in. you'll want to check that it is, and hopefully, like it didn't, here we go. So it's talking about the multicultural cybersecurity workforce. Like that's the title, and that has nothing to do with what we're talking about here, right? So Bandera is the original Seminole theorists who developed SCT. Okay, so again, making sure you understand the language, you understand the literature about it as well. So now, when we have identified our evidence-based program, this sentence says this program has been used in many schools, involves weekly therapy sessions between a mentor and a student. What is actually happening in these sessions, right? That's what we want to capture and put in and demonstrate that we know. So we're going to replace it with, going to scratch this out. I'm going to put this here, right? So during, we want to be as specific as possible and again, speak the language. And also remember that we're doing prevention, not therapy, right? So prevention is before something happens, whereas therapy is something when folks get diagnosed. So we're replacing it with this program has been used in many schools and involves weekly prevention-focused skills building workshops. Okay. Then we have here, it is a comprehensive social support network, beautiful tapestry of support that helps students in, I can't say, dive into their problems. There we go. Sorry, it's still early. So we replaced this and this with a comprehensive social support network, right? Because that's what we're focused on. And then we have this one. Okay, we're gonna do this. So regardless of their background, what does that mean? So we're gonna take that out and we're gonna support it with research and say evidence shows that this program works well for all children, but requires cultural tailoring to ensure the mentors represent the lived experience of minority populations. And it gives us this citation. So not only are we replacing that language, but now we've got to go check this. Um, sorry. Check this as well, just to, okay. So this talks about cultural adaptation of prevention interventions, resolving tensions in between fidelity and fit. Let's make sure that sentence is what it is talking about. And it is. And then lastly, we also are going to add in a sentence here. In my professional experience, this program must be modified for rural communities where transportation to school-based mentoring is a barrier, perhaps by utilizing a telementoring model. So I hope this video is helpful in kind of understanding kind of the meaning behind the assignment, but also if you're not familiar with ChatGPT, how you could see yourself using it as well with the prompts. But overall, just remember the point of the assignment is that you are learning how to critique ChatGPT. You're making sure that what it's saying is the actual truth. And you do that by knowing the literature, finding the literature, making sure that citations and research that's in the ChatGPT response is correct, and making sure that you are using the language of the theory when you're explaining what your prevention intervention is and your population, your chosen theory, as well as the evidence-based program. So if you have more questions after watching the video, please feel free to reach out to me. If you're trying to kind of problem solve through your particular one, please feel free to reach out. Take care.